Discovery of the week, a very interesting project that he's been working on, and we're going to delve into it. He's Gideon Kwegyir-Aggrey. Now, let's meet him. Good morning, Gideon.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Fantastic. It's good to have you here on Breakfast Daily.
It's great to be had.
Now, why Chaskele? Let me ask the question like that to start with.
Well, initially when I thought of making a video game, Chaskele didn't come to mind immediately. I was quite torn on what exactly I should work on. So I was discussing this with a friend of mine, Della. Shout out to Della.
Okay.
And he told me, why not give a spin to any local Ghanaian game you know of? So I thought, okay, which game was like tons of fun as a child? And
Okay.
Chaskele came to mind.
Yeah.
So I thought, why not?
Okay.
Let me have a crack at it.
Okay. Let's go back to gaming.
Yes.
When did you start developing game apps?
When I started developing game apps, well, Chaskele is actually my first game. I started working on it roughly 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yes. Although 2 years is a bit of a long time for a game like Chaskele, but it's because I worked on it mostly during my free time.
Okay.
Because I have a job aside.
Okay.
You know,
What do you do?
Oh, I'm a protocol officer at a financial institution.
Okay.
Yes. So free time is quite scarce, but I work on it whenever I can. So that's why it stretched out so long over 2 years. It could have been less.
So do you do coding yourself?
Yes, to a degree, but for Chaskele, I noticed if I was going to go with just raw code, which is what I use is more C++.
Okay.
Yes, but if I was going to go with raw code, it would take me much, much longer because of the time I had. So I work mostly within an engine called Unreal Engine 4.
Okay.
Yes, so it
Unreal
implements
Engine
C++, yes.
Interesting. So talk us through the process of developing the Chaskele app.
Ooh, from the beginning.
Yes, talk us through.
Okay, well, I was learning a lot of things as I made it because it wasn't something I had studied. I didn't study it in school, nothing of the sort. I got all my training from YouTube. So I had to learn a bit of 3D modeling. So creating my characters in Blender.
Okay.
That's the software I use.
Okay, so we can see some of it on the screen there.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's one of the characters you first meet, who I named after myself.
Oh, I see.
Yes, his
Okay.
name in game is Gray, which is a nickname I have. So those are the modeling processes when I was developing the characters.
Okay.
Yeah, it took a bit to learn because a lot of try and error and restarting. Yes, so that took me a while. Then finally, when you have your characters ready, at least as ready as you could possibly have them, you import them into your engine, and that's where the hard work actually starts because this is the animation process. Yes, and that's me implementing them into the game.
Okay.
Yeah. You see, getting all of them to animate and to interact with each other using code and blueprints, which is a form of coding within the engine. Yes, so you put them in, you give them the orders. When this person throws and I press this button, this happens. This is me trying to simplify it as much as possible without getting complicated. Yes.
Okay.
So the modeling process was, to me, the most interesting because it brings out the creativity. You have to think of art concepts and all of this. And it took me a while because I was the only one working on it. Because usually a game development team, for the big time games, can have up to 100 people working on it.
Oh, wow, I see.
Yes, it's quite a lot of work. From designers, 3D modelers, coders, concept artists, so much. So yeah, that took me a while.
Okay.
Then eventually I got it into the game.
Okay.
And then I had to think of a mechanic. Chaskele as a game, we know how it goes. Someone is standing there protecting we were using basins. Someone throws a kunka, you hit it. Yeah, you have to go pick it up. I thought, okay, let me try and make it simple. I was going to do a full-blown Chaskele game where you can run around and everything, and I thought, no. Since I'm working alone, let me start it as simple as possible. What's the simplest form I can put Chaskele in? So I just made it that you are just the batter.
Okay.
You won't be throwing, you won't be doing anything. So you protect the creature behind you.
Okay.
Yes, and then I threw in some elements because I didn't want to just be someone just throwing. So I threw in different elements: fire, water, earth. So you having to match those elements tests your reflexes see how sharp you can be on the game. Yeah. So that's basically...
Let's take a look at the video that shows the process.
All right.
Real quick. Let's take a look at that video.
This is the trailer.
Okay, so I noticed that you have this app on Google
Play Store.
Play Store.
Yes.
What about those of us who refuse to go to Play Store?
Yes, well, I have also applied to the Apple Developer Program.
Okay.
Yes, but I'm yet to get a response from them. I think it has something to do with me being an individual they've never heard of. Okay. So I'm still applying, trying to get it on the App Store as well, because initially that was my plan, to release them both at the same time. But when Apple kept delaying, I thought, okay, let me release it on Android, at least get experience from that release. And then once I get the go-ahead from Apple, it's be on the App Store before you know it.
Yeah. No, but I think that's also a smart idea, because what happens is that if Google Play Store is easier to get on, the Apple guys are also watching, and they want to find out what you're doing already, you know, if it's already you know, on the other side.
So Google Play Store will serve as at least a point of reference, so that in my next application I make, they will at least know that I'm a legit game developer. So hopefully hear from me.
What was the most challenging part of this whole experience for you?
Most challenging part? Well, everything really. Juggling work, learning code, learning an engine, and learning 3D design all at the same time while trying to make the game. Because I was learning as I went along. If I got to a point I saw, oh, I need to create a character, I guess I have to learn how to create a character. I get to a point, oh, I don't know how to code a projectile being thrown. Guess I have to learn how to, you see, so that's what made it a bit challenging, but it was fun. It was fun.
I'm really surprised by, you know, the fact that if you have to learn, for example, like you said, how to create a projectile being thrown, to learn each of those processes, and you just did it with, you know, why are you not doing gaming full time? Full time.
Well, it's been a passion for a long time of mine, and going into it full time brings in a lot of factors. You need more time. And also you start having to hit deadlines and such, because game development is a very big business in the world right now. I think as of 2018, the gaming industry on its own made about 130 billion in revenue.
Wow.
Yeah, which is either on par, almost exceeding Hollywood.
Okay.
So it's a lot of pressure. There's crunch time. So with that, maybe I'll save thinking about it full time for later, but a lot of people should consider it, especially you have a lot of time on your hands. Instead of sitting around just waiting for someone to call you that will come up for this job. Work on something. It's if I could do it with the limited free time I have, imagine the great things Ghanaians could do. And the gaming industry too, most people in Ghana see it as, oh, it's a waste of time. Oh, it's for children.
But a lot of people play games, though.
Exactly. There was a statistic. The average gamer across the whole world, when they ran the statistic, the average gamer is 36 years old.
Are you serious?
Yes.
The average gamer is 36 years old.
Exactly.
Which means that it's not child's play like we think.
No, and it's taken for granted in Ghana. I mean, as I just said, it's a booming billion-dollar business. But we look down on it for several reasons. Oh, it's for children, it's gambling and such. I remember growing up, those were some of the challenges I faced. And a lot of parents may steer their children wrong when it comes to that topic. You see, instead of being the ones introducing their children to video games, allowing them to have the right amount of it, choosing the right games, which is another big issue parents face, and which I can also help with. If you send me an email asking, okay,
tell us a little bit about that. I mean, how do parents in this time when a lot of kids are home, they're not schooling, it's COVID-19 season and all of that, how do parents choose the right game?
Yes, there's actually set criteria for most games, but parents, there's an age rating, just like movies.
Okay.
games come with age ranges from 3 plus, 18 plus. There's educative games. And you know, children are more drawn to games.
Yeah.
If you place a thick book in front of a child, he's in a hurry to be done with it and go and do something more exciting. But if you pick up games, I remember when we were growing up, our generation, what helped most of us with typing was this game called Mavis Beacon. I don't know if you remember. Yeah,
I think my first Mavis Beacon was like the number 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And then I went all the way to like 22 or something like that.
And that was more fun, wasn't it? Yeah.
It's a whole lot more fun. And you can sit at it for hours on end without getting bored.
But you're not wasting time.
No,
you're improving your typing skills. You're learning things. So that's the aspect of gaming parents should try to see. So go online and do a little research. Because games, instead of saying, oh no, games are bad for children, it spoils them. No, they are very educative.
Yeah.
A lot of games educate in different ways, even about health conditions. There's a game called, I think, Senua's Sacrifice.
Okay.
That addresses psychosis. Which is, okay, let me, psychosis is basically characterized by people being detached from reality. People hear voices in their head. And that game tackles an issue like that. And it's a video game.
Auditory hallucination.
Yes. Yes. So, I mean, it really helps, but you have to know how to channel it.
How can people reach out to you? If people want to
you can reach me on my email, greygamestudios@gmail.com.
Okay.
If you have a question, I want my child to have a game, which game would you recommend for his age, for his class? Yeah, all that, I can help you with it. If you just send an email.
Facebook, Twitter handles?
Yes, I do have them at Grey Game Studios.
At Grey Games Studios?
Yes, please.
Fantastic. Thank you very much,
Thank you so much.
Gideon. We've been talking with Gideon Kwegyir-Aggrey, who is the developer of the Chaskele app. It's currently on Google Play Store. You can go and download it and have fun with it. I'm looking forward to it coming on iOS. I refuse to buy a Google phone. All right.